In 2024, I had what I consider one of my favorite years in gaming. Not because I played a lot of new games and they were really good. No, it's because really I played a lot of games, new and old, and I had a lot of fun with most of them. Somehow it ended up being something where just a lot of games caught me off guard where I was playing something I really enjoyed. I played a new series that I really enjoyed. I played a couple of games that I'm gonna remember forever. It was just a really fun time. And here we are in 2025, pretty much halfway through the year, and I don't really know what to say. Well, I kind of know what to say, but I don't. I feel like I'm starting to get a little burnt out on gaming in general. And maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but that's the best thing that comes to my mind. But I don't necessarily feel burnt out, but it's more like I just don't know what to think about gaming right now. And I'm not coming at this at an angle like, oh, video games are bad now, they used to be better way back then. The gaming industry is terrible now. But like, that's not really what I want to say. There's so many people talking about that right now, and that's not really what I wanted to say. No, I'm personally coming at this from like my own personal view of like why this is such a weird time for me video game wise, especially after what happened last year in 2024. And I kind of just wanted to ramble and talk about it just because it's just stuff I want to get off my chest. So much so that I'm recording this right after I woke up, so I may sound a little weird, sorry about that. But yeah, this year has been pretty weird. I have gotten a few games, but as of now I haven't gotten a single game that came out this year. I think the only games that come close is that I got Mario Party, what is it? Mario Party Jamboree. I got that back in February, and a couple of days ago I actually got Astrobot, probably the biggest game I wanted to get last year, that came out last year. And that I'm still in the middle of playing that, and I have my thoughts. Maybe I'll share them out time in this discussion or whatever, but I mostly have been playing retro games. But even then, I haven't gotten a lot of games. And that basically boils down to a couple things. Well, one is probably the biggest one. I've been a lot busier than I was last year. My job situation has changed. Well, it changed. It was kind of different at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of different now. But my job situation has been changing, and I've been a lot busier. Yeah, just trying to figure out my life around just my job situations. Like, it was a lot worse at the beginning of the year because I was working a lot. I was working around the clock to try to make ends meet, and it was pretty rough. I didn't have a lot of time to play games. I didn't have a lot of time to spend making videos here. It's something I had to put my all in and just try to make work, and it was very rough going. But I did get a couple of games early on, like I mentioned Jamboree. But I think before that I got Need for Speed Underground, I think. No, Hot Pursuit, the one for the GameCube, I'm pretty sure. I got that, and I'll be honest, I barely touched it, which I don't like buying games and not touching them and just adding them to my collection. That's not something I do, but that's pretty much what's been happening this year for the most part. Mario Party Jamboree, I did spend a bit of time with because, you know, I got it because I wanted to play with friends. I think there was like a snowstorm going on or something. I was snowed in. My friends wanted to play some Mario Party Jamboree. I didn't own it yet, so I said, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna buy it digitally, which I never do with first-party games. But I said, whatever. I'm gonna get it digitally, and I played the game with them multiple times. And now this isn't a review for Mario Party Jamboree at all, and this is just me talking off the cuff. But Mario Party Jamboree or Super Mario Party Jamboree, whatever. The game's fun. It's a good Mario Party game. It's far from my favorite though, and there's some aspects that kind of hold it back. Biggest thing kind of being really the main gimmick of the game, Jamboree buddies. I wish you can just turn them off. But I did spend a bit of time with it, and then after that, man, I bought multiple retro games, but I don't really remember them off the top of my head. I know I got Epic Mickey 2 at a garage sale, kind of randomly. It was a bug, so I was like, why not? Haven't touched that, but mainly because I don't have a second Xbox controller on me right now. I'm definitely forgetting a couple of games, but I also got Tales of Symphonia. I am spending a little bit more time with that game because I'm playing that with my younger sister. It makes it easy because you can do battles like in co-op essentially, but just in co-op, which is really weird. But it's been an interesting game, and I'm definitely forgetting a game that I've gotten recently other than Astrobot. I haven't I put in some hours, and it's a short game, but I I definitely I've been having fun with it, but I definitely have gripes that I feel like a lot of people haven't talked about. But again, this isn't a review of like all the games I'm talking about. The point is to say that I've gotten some games this year, but other than most recently Astrobot, I guess Tales of Symphonia and a little bit of Mario Party, I really haven't spent time with games this year because I've been so busy. And I guess the other reason is because I feel like it hasn't been as interesting to spend time with games lately. Like, whenever I spent time with Need for Speed Underground and I played it the one time and I was like, oh, I'll come back to it later, I didn't really feel compelled to come back to it afterwards. I was like, nothing's really drawing me to play that right now. I just remembered the other game that I forgot to mention. I got a game called Pool Paradise. It's a very, like, I've never heard of anyone talk about this game, but it's a very unique, like, billiards game, pool. You could tell, like, it was made by a small development team, and they put a lot of care and love into it because there's a lot of goofy stuff in it. I didn't really play a lot of that as well, just because, really, I liked what I was seeing, but I just didn't feel compelled to come back to it. So I'm thinking now, like, maybe this is happening because I played a ton of games in 2024, and now I'm just kind of starting to get over that and be like, oh, I want to spend less time with games and more time on my personal life, on work and stuff like that. But I'm thinking in my head, like, maybe, but also I still want to have some fun time with a game, just because like, yeah, I'm wanting to spend more time on work, but like, until I guess recently, like, all the stuff I was doing for work I wasn't really enjoying. I haven't really been doing work, or I haven't been doing like jobs that I've been doing that I've really enjoyed. It's been like a couple of the jobs I had recently, I hated. I absolutely hated. I've since left those jobs, but I did not like them, and I wished I had a game to lean on and enjoy. Like, all the games I've gotten, with maybe Astrobot being the exception, I've liked. They've been good, they've been fun, but it's like they're not anything I can really be like, oh, this is so fun, I'm gonna try to play this every moment I can get. This is kind of another aspect of it. I feel like there aren't any games I can look forward to. Well, apart from Speedrunners 2, that's something completely different. That's probably my most anticipated game of this year. But the thing is, I don't know when that's coming out. Luckily, I bet it's going to be a cheaper title, and like, once it comes out, I'm gonna get it, whatever. But like, other than that, like, that's just like a small indie title, which I immediately am looking forward to, but like, I don't really have anything else to look forward to gaming wise. There's not a single game I'm looking forward to. And you may be asking yourself, wait, aren't you gonna get the Switch 2? Aren't you excited for that? Well, first off, I'm not getting the Switch 2. I'm not. I have a relative that's getting the Switch 2, and we're gonna play it like together and stuff, play Mario Kart World. But even then, I'm not crazy over the moon about Mario Kart World. I know it's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be cool, but like, I don't know. It's not like I'm going crazy over Mario Kart World. Maybe it's because I'm just like not thrilled, or maybe I think this is another aspect, because, you know, a new Nintendo console that doesn't come around very often, that should be a really big thing, right? That should be something I should be really excited for. That should be like, oh, this is something I can really get like into. Like, video games are still kind of like something interesting to talk about and stuff. But like, I have very, very, very mixed feelings about the Switch 2, mainly because I love that it's more powerful, and there's a lot more headroom for newer games in the future, and I really love some of the aspects of the thing, and just how it feels like more of a premium product, I guess. But maybe that's just because it's like a new console and I've never seen it before, and new consoles always feel really new and premium to me. But like, the Switch 2 is a really boring console when it comes to I guess an evolution from the last console to the next. It's a really boring console. It's a very safe console. And is that the end all be all? No. Is that like a good idea that they did just kind of like the same thing but better? No, not necessarily. It's harder to get excited for it, especially with some of the aspects of it. You know, all the price stuff, the stuff with the game key cards, all that stuff. I'm not really gonna spend time talking about here. Millions of people have complained about it before, and I'm not really gonna start now. But it does make me think like, okay, I don't know if I'm really excited for this console and new games, because it's like, I do plan to get maybe like a game at some point, but I'm not really gonna keep up and try to get new games as soon as they come out like I did with the Switch 1. It's like, with how, like, yes, like variable pricing, and it's gonna depend, but it's like, I'm not really excited to get new games, and I'm not really planning on getting them right when they come out. So it's like, I'm practically at a point where I can't keep up with Nintendo anymore, just because partly my financial situation, but it is kind of changing, but also just because it's like it feels like video games is also becoming like more of a premium experience, and I can't really keep up, or slash I don't want to keep up because I want to have I feel like there's a better use of my time financially, which is where retro video games come in, and I can get those for, well, sometimes cheap. If I get like titles that people don't care about, like I kind of have been doing, cheapish, but then there are games that I want to get that are a little bit more, like they're around the same price as new games and like whatever, but like man, it just feels kind of weird. So yeah, I don't want to bag on the Switch too much. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, I still think it's a boring and safe console, but I'm very excited for the type of games that are going to be released on that thing, and I think there's a lot of potential for me to really like it, to really like its library anyways. So yeah, I'm going all over the place, but yeah, I just don't really know how to feel about video games right now. I think since I just got Astrobot, I will admit I have been going out of my way to play that game. And I don't know if I'm going to 100% it. I don't think I will, just because I don't know if I really have the time anymore. That's another thing. I'm getting older, right? And getting older, you have more responsibilities, more things you got to worry about, and your tastes, they change. They kind of alter and stuff. So it did make me think, am I starting to grow out of video games? Is this a thing that I'm not really into as much? It feels weird to say yes, because, you know, I still will watch random video game stuff on YouTube, and like so I can't really say yes in that aspect, but I'm also not playing the games as much. I'm also not interested in the games as much, but I still have this like library of games. I'm still collecting retro games like whenever I can. It feels weird to say like, oh no, not really. And I still want to get like a couple of older consoles. Like I want to get a Dreamcast at some point. Like, and that's something I do want to get, but like I can't really say that I'm growing out of video games in that aspect. But also like I haven't been as interested to play the games. I don't know. And one more major aspect of video games that I think is really important is doing all of this. Making videos around video games is something that I've done off and on for a while, and it can make the experience annoying really, but also it can really make the experience so fun. It can make it where I love an older game I haven't played in a minute, or I see it in a new light, or it can make it where I completely enjoy a new game I've never played before even more. And it's just, and I've been doing this whole video thing for years, not on this channel, but I've been doing it for years. And video production in general, I've been doing all over the place for a while. And it would feel weird to not take the time to focus on a game that I'm really into. But like, of course, there haven't been any games I've been really into. But I mean, there's still stories I want to tell. There's still creative things I want to create, and like that's just really that's a big aspect of it for me. Like I would love to do this more, or to do this maybe even full time, who knows, but like it's hard to commit to something like that whenever I'm not sure of really what I want to do with the medium. Maybe I need to change what I'm doing and kind of go at it at a different angle. I don't know, but like that is another aspect of it. I love doing this sort of thing, but I'm just at a kind of a weird spot with just everything. And I'll probably end it all on this thought. I still love video games, and they have really shaped my life in a lot of ways, especially in the past 10 years. But I just don't know where I'm heading with any of it at this point. And I do wonder how things are going to change going forward, because, you know, nothing stays the same. Things are always like ever changing, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if stuff starts to shift around my life where things may look a little different pretty soon.